The murder plot, police are investigating claims that Nelson Njeri hired gang to kill wife. It's a bizarre tale, the Daily Nation tells us, when Lucy Njeri landed at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi last November. She did not know that two men ostensibly assigned by her husband to meet and drive her home were in fact members of a killer squad that had been paid 1.5 million shillings to eliminate her, until one of them jumped into the back seat and started strangling her. So for more on this story, do get your copy of the Daily Nation. It covers 2 pages. Pages 2 to 3, 1.3 million shillings, the amount of money Miss Muhami reportedly paid. Is it Ms. Muhami or Mr.? Let me get my copy of my hard copy of the paper. Yes, 1.3 million shillings is the total amount of money Ms. Muhami reportedly paid a gang to spare her life. Ms. Muhami and Mr. Njeri are athletes with dozens of middle and long distance races under their belts, in careers spanning over 2 decades for the man and 1 decade for the woman. In the course of their careers, they have amassed property bought with the prize money. They got married traditionally in 2002. At the time, Njeri was 2 years into her running career with specialty in middle distance races, both locally and abroad. Shocking report there. You can find it on the front page of the Daily Nation. What else is on the front page? From school fees to taxes, you'll have to dig deeper into your pocket. That is on page 7 of the Daily Nation. From one placement results to be known today. There must be parents and pupils across the board waiting with bated breath. And Raila out to calm troubled waters in Nyanza through mending fences with Ruto. In surprise U-turn last week, Raila rallied leaders in Nyanza to embrace the president. And let's take a look at this quote here of Professor Macharia Monene. It makes Raila look civil and Ruto magnanimous. The backdoor handshake is likely to be realized, with Raila getting a powerful position. I am curious whether my panelists agree with Professor Macharia Monene on that score. Let's take a look at, wait, let me see. There's a strategy that has been revealed here, and the strategy is to forestall defections from his camp, to stem rebellion in his strongholds, to push for development in his strongholds, to solidify his bases, to foster cooperation between opposition and government in the 2 houses, backing progressive government bills in the 2 houses, to counter government attack on opposition, lord of poverty branding, to cool down political temperatures, and to reorganize himself. All right, and then this report by Vitalis Kimutai. I'm not setting up my deputy, Ruto says. Head of state condemns Kericho MCAs for leadership wrangles that recently descended into a fist fight. There's a quote here of, President has asked Mr. Gachagua to oversee reforms in the tea and coffee sectors and boost farmers' earnings. There's a quote here of the DP. There will be a lot of noise when the hammer falls on the cartels, and I urge you, Mr. President, not to listen or give refuge to the actors. Flipping over from school fees to taxes and costly loans, hard times await higher secondary school fees at the cost of living burden that parents will be shouldering this year. When schools reopen for the first time on Monday next week, parents will be forced to dig deeper into their pockets to pay school fees for their children in secondary schools after the government reinstated pre-COVID-19 fees. Ruto taps XMP Tayari to head ports agency for 3 years. That report by Onyango Konyango. For more on those appointments, grab your copy of the Daily Nation. Let's take a look at the Taifa Leo front page. Pesa za wazee zageuka mauti. Let me see here. Wawili hao wenye umri wa miaka 90 na 70 waliangamia baada ya kulipwa 8,000 kwa kupuo wiki jana. Wazee waliosajiliwa katika mpango wa Inua Jamii hupokezwa 2,000 kila mwezi. Hawakuwa wamelipa pesa hizo kwa zaidi ya miezi 4. So that is the front page of the Taifa Leo. I see here are these boxing guys. Sungunyo alipua Mkenya. Mwanandondi mwenye makeke wa Tanzania Karim Mandonga Sungunyo pamoja na hasimu wake Mkenya Daniel Wanyonyi wajiandaa kwa pambano kali la maveterani lililochapwa katika ukumbi wa KICC Nairobi Jumamosi. Mandonga aliyezua kibaridi dhidi ya mpinzani wake kabla ya mchapano aliibuka mshindi. Wow, that one gave me a bit of a problem, but yeah, all right. So that's what happened in sports over the weekend. Kimya cha Joho kina mshindo tangu ampokeze Abdul Swamad mikoba haonekani hadharani. Shule msingi juma hii tutafanya nini? Oh, okay, all right. So Joho, his silence resounding, that is what the Taifa Leo states. And then nafasi za kidato cha kwanza kutangazwa, waliofanya KCPE kujua shule za sekondari watakazo jiunga nazo leo. All right, I'll leave the Taifa Leo there. Business Daily, costly bank charges and fees, triple home loan repayment. This report by Patrick Alushula. Lenders loading extra 20% before levying interest, appraisals, insurance and ledger fees hit borrowers. Then I see at the bottom here, windfall as fixed deposit bank return hit 30-month high. On the ticker, EAC to set up regional central bank this year, while Centum terminated CDN bank sale. Bank Safaricom defy order court on cash transfer fees. Banks and mobile money operators have proceeded to levy fees for transferring cash between their platforms, despite the existence of a temporary High Court order suspending the charges. Okay, that's it for the publications from the Daily Nation, but let's just quickly look at the East African in case you haven't had an opportunity to do so. Uganda Dar es Salaam line clear as Kenya derailed. After close to 8 years of funding drought, Kampala has ditched China for Turkey to build a modern railway. Meanwhile, Kenya grapples with a broken link to Malaba in the race for the East African market. Pages 4 to 5 on the East African. Storm brews over Kagame order on Congo refugees. Rwanda leaders view that Congolese go home if Kinshasa remains hostile, draws mixed reactions. Sudan seeks Ruto help to return to AU. Khartoum wants Kenyan statesman to see it back into the fold to save its economy. And there's a picture there of Sudan's leader. And at the top here, anything I missed? I don't think so. All right, let's take a look at the Star and the Standard now, before we get back into the political stories informing our discussion this morning.